how does horror movies affect you after you watch the film?
I don't watch it. I simply don't watch it because I have nightmares. Always. Always.
Smart.
The Shining, I watched twice in my life and never again.
Here's Johnny.
Start with, even though The New Mutants is a horror superhero film, I feel like there's a John Hughes movie fighting to come out. And I always thought that those type of movies help us to realize when we were younger that we are not alone and that we are not monsters. So on that note, to all of you, I would like to know, which is the movie that helped you when you were younger, that kept you company and told you that everything was gonna be fine?
Oh, wow.
The Lion King for me.
Oh, I'm just done, Henry.
I think the circle of life is very important to remember, that we all have our time and our, our trajectory.
That's so cute.
Is that young?
Wow, you're so deep when you were young, man.
Lion King is deep, man. Don't underestimate it.
It's based on Hamlet. It's super deep.
I was, when I was young, a big Star Wars fan.
The original Star Wars?
Yeah, the originals. My grandma had them on VHS, and I got to borrow them. Yeah, and I used to make little Star Wars films. I had like lightsabers, and I'd get my friends. My stepdad was like huge, kind of stick in the videotape camera. I used to make homemade Star Wars movies with my friends.
What about you, Anya?
Peter Pan forever. Peter Pan.
Oh, you don't want to grow up, then.
Oh, never. I used to leave my window open for Peter because I was convinced. That's legit. That was a real thing. But Neverland was.
Did he arrive though? Did you meet him though?
No, but not losing hope.
Oh, okay. You sound disappointed, but okay, that's okay. That's okay.
It's all right.
You'd be a perfect Wendy. We should make that happen, Anya.
Reboot, huh?
I use that all the time. Like, I'm consistently Wendying people or Tinkerbelling people. But anyway, continue, please, the interview.
Awesome. No, don't worry. I love this Peter Pan conversation. This movie gives us a chance to see a group of misfits who are trying to discover who they are and where they belong. And I think that it doesn't matter if you're a mutant or a real-life teenager. We all have a point in our lives where we feel that way. And since you guys are so successful, you get to make movies and you know who you are, I want the three of you to be our Dr. Regis. I want to know, what do you think is the key for an outcast or a misfit to discover their place in the world?
I think it's all about making peace with like the person who you truly are, and like that can be like a really difficult thing to come to terms with. Like there can be so many things about yourself that you don't like and that you don't want to be, and like you can just want to be someone else and want to be like, want to change things about yourself. But in order to really thrive and feel like you belong, like you have to make peace with every piece of yourself, like the good bits, the bad bits, the ugly bits. And like when you can truly just like love every little like limb of yourself, like that's when you really feel like you'll belong in this world.
Accept the way you are, with the flaws and with the good things, right?
Exactly. There's like no one, it's like not cooler to be anyone other than the authentic version of yourself.
What about you, Alicia? What do you think?
I think Maisie just said it brilliantly. Very inspiring for young kids, because I think when we're teenagers, we're trying to fit and we're trying to accomplish something, or we're trying to please other people, and we try to sometimes we repress what we actually are, which is amazing. Each one of us has a quality, and I think by what Maisie just said, it's interesting to bring that to life. So I think the film really discussed that in a way. These kids, they're trying to figure out who they are and to accept themselves and to control, not to control in a bad way, but to know how to live their life with this power that they have.
Well, to start with, I must say that I'm really impressed with your career, man, because you took what you personally like and you make a career out of it. I mean, from reading Stephen King books, now you actually get to work with him. From watching Empire of the Sun, you've done projects for Amblin. What you read as a little kid, now you're turning into a big movie. And to top it all off, you're doing it alongside your best friend. I mean,
it's true. It's true. Yeah. He worked on The Stand as well. Yeah.
I mean, how do you do that, man? Lots of people want to be part of this industry, but you achieve everyone's dream in so many levels.
I just look at it like this. It's like I try to choose projects that I have deep personal connections to, because it takes so long to make these things. Like The Stand, I worked on for probably 5 or 6 years. I worked on this for 4 or 5 years, probably New Mutants. It takes a lot of love for the project to get you through it. So I've tried to choose projects that meant a lot to me, that aren't fleeting loves in my life, that are the next week I'm like, oh, did I really love that girl? It's like, these ones I really believe I have deep love for, and I can continue to stay excited about them through the ups and downs and all that stuff.
Now that you mentioned that, when it comes to your adaptations, you have a few, and actually so different. I mean, you have The Fault in Our Stars,
oh sure,
Mutants, and like you said, I'm so excited for this band.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be so cool.
It's gonna be awesome. But I'm so shocked by the fact that Bill Sikowitz, the artist who helped create the look for the original Mutants and the comics. Oh, there you go. You got it.
This just came out that has almost his entire run in it. It's got obviously all the Demon Bear stuff in it. If anybody wants to get it, it's on Amazon. It just came out. It's got all his stuff in it.
He mentioned that whenever he thinks of the characters, your vision is the one that comes into his mind. So when you're directing...
It's just because it's the most recent one.
No. I wanted to ask you that. Because do you find it satisfying that your vision is becoming the standard for everyone, including a couple of the creators?
Well, look, because it's had so many years to sit with people before the movies even come out, it's just sort of gotten into the subconscious of everybody. But no, man, I mean, look, the reason we did this movie was because of Bill Sienkiewicz's run on that series with Chris Claremont. I had always loved those comics. Nate and I had read Marvel comics religiously when we were kids in the 1980s. Really, like to like an obsessive degree. Like, I mean, it was everything we really cared about. It was like, for me, it was that and Stephen King. I get you. You know, getting to please him and getting to use these comics and sort of his aesthetic to try to bring that to life, the look of the comics and the look of the characters in the comics. He came to set, he, you know, drew us all these amazing personal pieces for us, and has been such a great cheerleader for us. That he's happy makes me incredibly happy.
Amazing. Now, I also feel that being a teenager involves the desire to rebel, maybe sometimes against our parents or teachers, sometimes against evil institutes, just like in the movie. But what about you guys? I mean, do you have a rebellious moment from your teenage years where you thought, man, my parents, my teachers, my director is gonna kill me?
Not kill me, but, you know. Parents, I'm going to LA.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you guys think?
I'm dropping out of school to become an actor. That went down well.
How did your parents look at it?
Not great, but I was living alone at that point anyway, and eventually they came around to it. I was lucky. It took off pretty quickly, but otherwise I don't think they'd be that happy about it right now. Charlie?
I can't remember the question. I was zoning out.
Rebellious
moment.
You have a rebellious moment from your teenage years.
Teenage years. I don't know. I was a pretty rebellious teenager, but my parents were, I mean, I like going to be an actor, like you said, going to be an actor, you know, they were just like, yeah, go on, off you go. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Now, Blue, I know you declare yourself a horror fan. You've stated before that you ran out of horror movies to watch. Now, I don't know how you feel, but whenever I watch a horror movie afterwards, if I hear a squeak or crack in my room, I just die on the inside. So for you guys and for you, Blue, I wanted to know, how does horror movies affect you after you watch the film?
I don't watch it. I simply don't watch it because I have nightmares. Always. Always.
Smart.
The Shining I watched twice in my life, but never again.
That's really smart.
I know it's weird, but only some scary movies can actually truly really scare me, like creep me out, and I kind of like enjoy it. I think it's kind of fun. I mean, I don't know, day-to-day life's so boring, you know, and then you watch like a scary movie and the lights are off and the movie ends and you're just like, oh my god, I'm just gonna walk to my bedroom now, you know, and it's like, ooh, this is freaky. I like the like kind of not the rush, but like it's
adrenaline.
Yeah, but it's like also for me, what I like about scary movies isn't necessarily being scared. I think scary movies get to, like horror films get to explore, because the genre is so kind of like endless and you could do anything you want with it. Like you see it with like kind of Ari Aster's films and stuff right now. Like you can talk about things that you can't talk about when you're making a drama or when you have to stay in the confines of reality, because, you know, the things that scare us are really kind of what make us who we are. As you can see in New Mutants, I mean, Danny shows that to everybody. Like what you're most most afraid of is probably what you need to deal with. So when you watch scary movies, you really confront the problems with society and people. And I think that's why I like them so much. Not even because they scare me, really.
Do you have a recommendation for us during this quarantine for us to watch?
Oh yeah, I think The Babadook is probably a really good quarantine horror film because she pretty much quarantines her and her son.
All right,
know.
Good one.
And it's kind of relatable to New Mutants in a way. It's about grief. You know, the monster is grief, and for pretty much all the New Mutants, their biggest fears are, guilt and grief. The trauma, yeah.
And
he's a hero.
I'm gonna take the last minutes of this interview just to let you know that I'm so jealous and envious of your horror collection, man. I mean, you have books, portraits, movies, even pillowcases. I saw your pillowcases.
I do. I'll never buy a sports car, but I buy a lot of movies and related stuff related to movies, music, and books.
Good collection, right?
Yeah, I'm a collector for sure, and it's almost all just things that I love and have loved since I was young.
But, well, you have that perspective, but I was wondering, I mean, we all love horror, but you're truly a fanatic, so I wanted to know, why do you think we humans crave horror so much?
But it's funny, I don't know if I'm a horror fanatic so much as I was a Stephen King fanatic, And his horror, I would say, is so different. Like, when I was young, I mean, this movie, I would say New Mutants is very much inspired by A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. That's the one I always really liked because that one, the kids also had powers and could fight back against Freddy, which I thought was really cool. But I'm not a big fan in general of horror and slasher films. I just really loved Stephen King's work. And his work was so much more character driven than a typical horror movie was,
All about the heart, right?
All about the heart. So it's for me, I love all the metaphysical and occult aspects and things like that, but not if they're not backed up by really strong character work.
Amazing, man. Josh, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, nice to talk to you, sir. I really do love your collection. It's amazing. What's the RV from?
Oh, from Breaking Bad.
Oh, there you go. Awesome.
This is
That's it.
the
Yeah, there's Walter. There's Walter up there.
Yeah. I got a lot of 4 pops on the top side. I got a lot of pops, man. I am awesome. A collector too.
I wish they would make pops of my New Mutants guys. That would be amazing.
If they come out, I'm gonna buy them all, man. And hopefully you sign one someday.
Done. In a second. It'll decrease the value, but I'll sign it.
Don't worry. It's gonna increase for me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye, buddy.
Have a great day. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, guys. It's been a pleasure meeting you all. Thank you and have a great
Thank you, Hector.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure to see you again. So have a great day.
We can get out of this together.